This is my 49th cropping season. The first 24 years was conventional tillage. The second half, the 24 years, was all no-till. And looking back and comparing the two, if I was forced to go back to working the ground again, I'd seed it to grass and quit. Our land is so marginal here, it just can't take tillage. Our ground here, it's not dirt, it's soil, and soil is a living thing that needs to be nurtured and cared for, just like you would a herd of cattle. Well, we were trying to fill a hole in our cropping system here that the monocultures were creating. We started out with 1 or 2 monoculture type cover crops, and really monocultures and tillage is what destroyed the ground out here. So when we went to cover crops, we do a multi-species, and we come to the conclusion that the ideal soil profile is a very healthy native prairie ecosystem. And in this county, that's over 130 different plant species in community. And so if that's the way nature wants it to be, why would I do it any different? So we're looking to put in several of a warm and cool season grass and a warm and cool season broadleaf, and we try and put in multiples of each of them. It mimics the prairie, it speeds up biological time for recovery, and it has a multiplying effect when they grow them together. That cover crop mix fills that hole, fills that void, and helps us to build soil health instead of destroy it. The key to really being successful with cover crops is to not touch all that root biomass that's left behind. We do harvest it for hay. It's a great source of forage for the livestock that are here, but we do try and cut it very early so there's a lot of regrowth, and then that becomes cover going into winter, and it also becomes a source for grazing livestock in the fall. As farmers, we're so visual. We look at what's on top of the ground. But really, we have to manage something we can't see. Soil should be half dirt and the other half should be air and water. And a lot of our soils, because of tillage, that's gone. It's so compacted that water can't infiltrate, air can't move through the soil, and it's just really hard to grow anything in that. We've got soil structure back. We've got that nice porous soils, and you can tell when you do a soil sample, you can tell it looks like cottage cheese. When we started this program, our soil tests showed that we were under 1% organic matter, 0.7 to 0.9%. And when you're at that level, there's not enough organic matter to support the biology. The system shuts down. Since we've gone down this road, we've seen our organic matter increase up to 4.5% about a whole farm. Our goal is to get it back to where that organic matter was the same as it was as native prairie, which was in that 6 to 8%. Our land here is very, very marginal because of slope and of soil type. It took about 5 years before we noticed a difference, and then it just took off. We have, in that time, our traditional yields, which were our proven yields from the mid-'80s, we've tripled our wheat yields and we've tripled our corn yields. Now, granted, some of that's to genetics, but I would credit the largest part of that to soil health movement.